All right, so with this particular video, I need to address something very, very, very honest with you. The average person is below average intelligence, thus making the average person an idiot. What that means is that the average intelligence is actually idiot level for the average human. What this means for you is that if you're watching this video and you can't comprehend or you can't understand the facts, then just good news. You're not alone. All you have to do is just pause the video and then go find someone who's smart and then have them watch it with you. And you should be okay. Let's go ahead and get into it.
What are you saying to me? What are you saying? I don't even know what you're saying anymore. What are you even talking about? What point is it improving? I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
As you know, Amouranth has just come out with a video where she's trying to paint her husband as being a villain. Where she's trying to paint Nick Lee as being the guy who is just the evil villain behind the scenes driving her crazy. Despite making millions for the family, despite bringing in tons and tons of subscribers and fan base and getting her all sorts of places in life that she would have never gotten to without him, she wants to paint him as a villain. Now, I'll mention this later, but there is one thing to consider. Maybe it's a hoax. Let's get that out of the way. But if it isn't, and that's the angle that we're going to be approaching this from, since that's the angle that it was presented as, and the full recording of the stream did sound a lot more authentic than it sounded fake. That's how we're going to be looking at it. So there's a few things that we'll want to touch on. One is that she's a horrible wife. Let's be real here. Any chick who would try to record you on a fucking live stream because she's mad at you is not someone you want to be in a relationship with. Get the fuck out. Okay? The next thing that's worth mentioning is that whatever you're looking at here, under the assumption that it's all real, right? You're not looking at somebody who just woke up and had a bad Saturday morning, or that their Monday was just shit after work. You're looking at years and years of people being upset with each other, having contention, maybe even just built up frustration that they haven't expressed to each other in a meaningful way. And they're exploding. It's a fucking argument. If you are looking at this and you're thinking to yourself, oh wow, this is really, really bad. Oh my goodness, he's being really, really mean. You are girlfriendless. You are wifeless. No one in your life besides your mommy and your daddy fucking love you. Facts. Either that or you haven't been in a relationship in years, which also makes you kind of irrelevant. Don't want to be mean because there's guys out there who haven't been in relationships for a little while, but you're irrelevant on this topic. So the main thing to note going into this is that this bitch decided to stream it. Like, she hit record, press play, go live, send this shit to my stream key on Twitch. I want everyone to know what I'm about to do. And he's on the phone. He doesn't know that he's being recorded, which brings some legality questions into it on its own. But more importantly, because fuck the law, right? At the end of the day, your relationship with your woman is more important than any law on the planet. I don't care what country you live in. I'll say it again. Your relationship with your woman, yes, you own her, your woman, she's yours, is more important than any law on the planet. And your relationship with your man, yeah, you have some ownership into him too. It's a fact. Is more important than any law on the planet. Fuck laws. What's more important here is the fact that she wanted to put him on blast in front of everybody all her little simp patrols, all her little donators, all her little fan base. She wants him to look bad. And that's a huge, huge red flag right there. The conversation you're seeing, at best, is only halfway authentic. And that's on his half because he doesn't know that he's being recorded. He doesn't know that he's being streamed. She, on the other hand, is setting this whole shit up, hoping to make him look bad. Now, if you take time to look at the way the conversation's going and what's going on, you'll notice that she's pretending not to understand the English language.
What are you saying to me? What are you saying? I don't even know what you're saying anymore. What are you even talking about? What point is it improving? I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
Pretty sure this bitch only speaks one language, and it's English. She's not getting confused. She wants you to be dumb enough to believe that she's so distraught and she's so hurt, and she doesn't want you to pay attention to the conversation. She wants you to emotionally react, which is what humans do, by the way. Humans are fucking emotional creatures. It's only those of us who think logically and can premeditate and plan and execute who can really find truth in the game. You motherfuckers are going, oh no, my favorite streamer's crying, or oh no, a woman's crying. You're fucking retarded. You're the problem. It doesn't mean that the rest of us don't see a female with some tears welling up and go, oh man. But we push that aside instantly and we look at the situation. What's actually happening? Because bitches cry over anything, man. Like, you can take their teddy bear from them. You could actually just grab the teddy bears, or let me rephrase that, you could snatch the teddy bear out their hand, throw it in the room upstairs, tell them they can't have it until after dinner, and they'll start dripping tears, okay? Tears don't mean anything. It means your feelings are hurt. Men have their feelings hurt all the time. We just don't fill up a pool with tears every time it happens. Doesn't mean we're not just as sad. We just show it fucking differently. God damn. The other big note that I want to address right away is that she called the popo in this guy. She called the losers in blue on her own husband. Gentlemen, if anyone ever calls the cops on you, friend or girlfriend or wife or cousin or anything, you drop those motherfuckers immediately. They're done. They are dead to you. Maybe dead, but definitely dead to you. And that's it. Anybody who calls the cops on another person who's close to them or just in knee-jerk response is a worthless human. You don't want that in your life. Drop that bitch, okay? But she called the cops on him. That says a lot. And what did she call the cops on him for?
I don't care, I'm tweeting it.
That you...
I'm Amouranth's assistant, or I'm Amouranth's husband, and she is swatting me and calling the cops and calling it a false abuse claim.
I didn't say you abused me. I called the cops because you literally were on top of me trying to take my phones from me.
Okay, so I don't care if he tackled her like he was a linebacker. Okay? Like he was trying to defend his quarterback's life. He didn't beat her up. He got physical with her. He's like, give me the phone, bitch. I don't know what the context was for the phone. I don't know why he wanted the phone. Whether it was a weird text message, somebody in her DMs giving her some inappropriate attention, and maybe she might have been playing into it.
I have so many offers from better people in my DMs who would actually treat me better.
I don't know if he just wanted her off the phone so she could pay attention, because if you listen to the conversation, he just wanted this girl to pay attention to the conversation, and she was failing that. So I don't care what his reasoning was. If he wanted her phone, that's her husband. That's her man. Boyfriend, husband, or just long-term dating. I don't care. Your man wants your phone. Hand that shit over. Shut the fuck up. If he had to struggle for it, that in itself is the main bullet point here. Before even getting to calling cops or anything. Bad behavior on her part. The next thing is that she was confronted for wanting threesomes with other men. Now this is a very brief in the conversation. You have to watch the full stream, which I can link below. But if that's true, that's another huge problem. Sure, he's got her doing OnlyFans. Sure, he's got her doing super lewds. but he doesn't let her do nudes. Looking at her content in hindsight, yeah, I kind of see what's going on now. He does have a line that he draws. And yeah, threesomes is completely out of the question. So you simpy McSimps, hoping that you show up and donate a couple $1,000 and like one day she'll see you at a convention and you'll get to go back to the hotel. Wrong. It's not going to happen because her husband's there. He's going to punch you in the face, kick you the fuck out. Don't even try it.
Why would we only do threesomes with guys? I think we
I
should
want to
do them with
do
guys.
threesomes.
Oh my god!
I want to do.
See this right here is why I said that. You weren't even listening, which is my point.
But let's touch on that for a second. If that's true, then the allegations of her wanting that are a huge problem on their own. No female should be wanting that while they're in a relationship. If you have a man, regardless of the status of that relationship, that shouldn't be on the plate at all. Zip, zero, nada. I don't care what kind of OnlyFans you got going on. You want a threesome? Better be with another bitch. And he better be invited. Take an L on that one too, Amouranth. So her trying to trap him on stream shows a level of disingenuousness. Because when someone is recording themselves, recording someone else that they're trying to trap, that they're trying to set up, then you're not getting the full picture. They're not being honest in their response, in their emotions, in their presentation, in their body language. All of it is a farce, a show, so that you sympathize with them while they have someone else who they're intentionally riling up and pushing into a corner who doesn't know what's going on. Think of it like this. I'm kind of a serious motherfucker, right? What if I invited you over for dinner and video games, or dinner and a date, and you walk through the door and I'm sitting at the table like this, and there's chicken and there's rice and there's all sorts of desserts, and there's some flowers and there's some candles, and then when you sit down, I raise my hands, and on these motherfuckers right here are some 4-ounce MMA gloves, and I'm like, all right, motherfucker, let's fight. How ready are you for that? I was prepared. I've been preparing this shit for months. You showed up thinking you were going to have a genuine experience. And now you're about to get punched in the face. Goddamn. That's kind of what a one-sided conversation that's being recorded or streamed or presented is like. One side is ready and ready to put on a show, and the other side is showing up unaware, just being themselves. That should be noted too. Now let's talk about this being his idea. He masterminded it all, whether you like it or not, you know? It was his idea to take this normal, so-so looking chick from an anime convention, get her some big ass titties, make her tone the fuck up, get her attention, get her exposure, and curate her content and direct her to be successful. What you're seeing is basically how Hollywood grooms talent, except for as an independent gentleman and independent female who are the stars of the show. One's a director, manager, producer, and the other one is the talent who he taught how to do things. So let's talk about my take on that, okay? One is really good for money. It's unbelievably good for money. Gentlemen, if you have a girl at home and she looks pretty good, like she weighs under 130 pounds, she's like, 5'7" or shorter, she's got some nice curves to her or whatever, or you think that you can spend a little money and put some nice curves on her, then you're walking around with a piggy bank in this day and age. Fats. And it will probably be like that for quite some time. Howsoever, depending on how you go about it and the way he went about it, is really bad for the relationship. The main reason being that he cut himself out of the equation. There's a lot of ways that you can have a hot chick, have her online, have a lot of attention on her, and you still be in the picture. If you look at the Yoda guy, he has gone through 2 girls One of which he used a lot, and the other one which he's taken a little bit different of an approach, but still very similar. In both cases, he kept himself in the picture. There was no doubt in anyone's mind on the internet that if you ran up to his girl, that you had a chance with her. Just zero doubt. That's his girl, and you know it. But he put her on the internet so you can oogle all you want. And that's how you do it. The fact of the matter is that if you have a girl and you decide that you want to upload her to the internet per se, then you need to be the one whose social media manages everything. And I don't care what anyone says or what you think. I really don't. You need to be the one who handles all of her social media, all of her business dealings. Even if you outsource her social media so that, someone in Taiwan is responding to the comments and giving people hearts and thumbs ups and likes or whatever, blah, 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 likes this post, doesn't matter. It can't be her. And this is made crystal clear when she's upset with him and she talks about people in her DMs who would treat her better. When she's calling him names, when she's dissing him, when she's talking about how she has business contacts because she deals with the business people.
And I'm going to get your OnlyFans banned too.
I literally know the CEO. I can literally just ask her.
And so do I. And guess what? I never signed
You don't know her. You don't even talk to her. I'm the one who calls her.
My body is in the contract and I never signed a waiver.
Nope, that needs to be you. You need to be in full control of the operation. It was your idea. And females' minds really aren't set up for mass exposure to the world and all the attention they get. They just aren't. This is a fact. This isn't even a little bit negotiable. This isn't even slightly debatable. The average female mind, almost, when I say average, I mean 99.9% of them, I'll even say all female minds aren't set up for the level of exposure and attention they get from being on the internet. You need to curate that, and you need to be the one in charge of that. You need to step up and be the manager for your team, for your company, for your brand, whatever you have going on. It needs to be you. She can just hop in front of the camera and dance around, ha ha ha, he he he. But she doesn't need to be answering shit. Keep the control in your pocket, and you'll have a much better, happier, successful, and money-making relationship. You go his route, eventually you're gonna have some goddamn hiccups. Nobody's gonna be able to help you. Now, when you look at the conversation that's going on between her and her husband, the one thing you're gonna notice is that she is stupid. Now, I would say that she's pretending to be stupid, but the way that she acted this out shows that she had an idea, but she is actually stupid. He's talking to her the same way I'm talking to you, same way you talk to somebody maybe when you're heated, but his English, his delivery, very, very on point, very solid. Howsoever, she's going there literally saying,
What are you saying? I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
hold up now. You can't be that stupid. I know you're stupid, Amouranth, but you can't be that stupid. At some point, you can literally see her brain loading on 56 KB Wi-Fi.
I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
It's fucking rough, man. It's like trying to download the latest Call of Duty game, but you only got 23 kilobits to work with. She is fucking slow. And this is what this man has to deal with on a daily basis? Not once during that conversation did he say, what the hell's going on with you? You're even dumber than usual. No. This level of stupidity, this level of dumbness, he totally expected. He was just like, you're proving my point. This is how you are. If she's even remotely close to that stupid all the time, I don't know how he's been with her this long. It must be the money. God damn. Now, where he looks really good is that at every point in turn, he's trying to get her to have an intelligent, cerebral conversation where he's asking her questions. He's like looking for engagement. He's like, hey, are you listening to me? Do you hear what I'm saying? And she's like, what are you saying to me? These are the words coming out of her mouth. What? No wonder he's angry. Imagine you're in a relationship with someone. They're pretty hot, but talking to them is very akin to literally looking to your right and talking to the wall. except for this wall, has the ability to disagree with you. That's some frustrating ass shit. And that's what he's having to deal with on a daily, yearly, monthly, all the time basis. He wakes up to that kind of shit. No wonder he's mad. Really. So, the thing that you have to keep in mind this entire time is that what you're seeing is a result of years and maybe months or who knows how long of two people being upset with each other, and is unfolding in front of you in a way that just looks, what's the word for that? It doesn't look bad so much. It just looked very confrontational. He says some things to prove the point that she doesn't listen. She's sitting there not listening. He's yelling. He's upset. She tries to play it cool, and then when the call ends, she's yelling and calling him names. She's looking for sympathy. And it's a real tough place for him to be in, because obviously, let's be honest, of course they love each other to some degree. Let's get that out the way. Clearly, right? She listened to him well enough to become a character that the internet knows, and he is smart enough and loved her and loves her and trusts her enough to put her there in front of the internet and not even manage her social media content the way he should, knowing that there's all sorts of dudes hitting her up. And he's like, yeah, you mine. But there's a lot of problems going on beneath the surface, and you're getting to see the worst part of it, with only one party knowing that you're watching. That's a situation in itself. In the whole grand scheme of the conversation, he comes out looking like the good guy, because he's trying to get her to engage. He's asking her questions. He's trying to have an actual conversation. On the flip side of that, she's not listening. She's not responding. She's trying to trap him, asking him again and again and again, what did you say? What did you say? And he's not trying to trap her. He's trying to get her to say what she said. And then at first you're like, they're both trying to get each other to like say what they said. That doesn't look good. But he's trying to get her to recollect that she even said something that was offensive or bothered him.
You're going to tell me what you said? Then I'm going to tell you what I said.
She, on the other hand, is trying to get you as a viewer on her side. Completely different. And she's not listening to the words that he's saying in the conversation.
I said, I'm going to say a thing, you're going to say a thing, and I bet you're not going to hear mine at all.
Is that what you said?
And to prove the point, I said something terrible. To prove that when something is very, very important to you, you literally don't hear anything else. That was the whole point. And now that you're trying to play the victim, I'm pissed even more, because you're now lying. You didn't even hear what I said. That's the point. I said it very clearly, but you didn't hear it. Why? Because something more terrible distracted you. That was
I
my
don't
whole
think
point.
you're hearing what you say.
No, I did. I said it on purpose. I said it to show you how easily distracted you are.
You can't have a conversation and solve problems if you're not listening. A, she's not smart enough to listen and recollect. As he mentioned, this is not a show. He's used to her being so stupid that when she gets triggered, she can't even articulate. That's a huge problem. And in addition to that, when she's trying to set him up to look like the bad guy, she also still can't articulate. I'll say it again. I don't know how he's made it this far with her. It might have to be the money. So let's be honest. In this case, Amouranth gets the L big time. One, she's backstabbing. She's really doing all this shit on stream. And she doesn't listen to him and can't keep up in general. That's huge. Guys, if you have any girl doing any of this stuff, you gotta drop her. Two, she's disrespectful. She calls him names. She talks about him in the bedroom. She's a very disrespectful human. And we knew this ahead of time. But to her own husband, whoa, that's another level.
I've been dealing with him being an asshole to me for years and just disappearing from stream for 12 hours at a time. A lot of times you're like, why you got? I have to make up bullshit because you don't want to tell people about the fact that you fucking asshole to me for so long.
3, she called the popo. If anyone calls the popo on you, it doesn't matter what it's for. I don't care if you threw a chair through their luxury window in their SUV. I don't give a fuck. That person's cut off. That's a no-no. If you do something and they think you should call it, they owe you or you owe them, then you guys can work that out later, how you're going to pay for it or say sorry or whatever, if that's even the case. But under no circumstances should you be calling the cops on someone that you love, someone that you're dating, or someone who's your friend. And all 3 of those you should have some love for. Nah, just no. 4, she's smooth brained. She's an idiot. She's dumb. She's unbelievably retarded. And that on its own is a really hard thing to deal with in a relationship. I don't mind a girl being bimbo. Let's get that sorted. She listens to me. She's like a 9 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. She wears heels. She's got the big boobies. She's looking fantastic all the time. She gets her nails, her hair, fucking maybe even eyebrows done. She's wearing makeup. She's a great, wonderfully put together package. And just, you don't ask her to write a book. Maybe you don't ask her for her opinions on your business dealings. Maybe her smartest statement of the week is that a gecko is a lizard. Or maybe she even uses the word reptile. That's fine. As long as she knows where her place in the world is, and it is looking pretty, is looking good, is looking hot, and it's for you, that's fine. But if you have someone who is dumb and challenges you, now you have a huge problem. The only way that can work out is if you're both dumb. And that still probably won't work out because 2 dumb people trying to lead each other is a task that no one can overcome. Number 5, the 5th reason she takes a huge L in this video, and that he just makes her look like the villain she is that she's trying to set him up. That alone just takes the bill for being the worst person in her state. He wants to have a genuine conversation, get her to engage and listen, and she's over there trying to connive. She's automatically dropped. She's not worth anyone's time. She's not worth the meat bag that she's living in. She just looks bad. Anything like that ever happened to you, I would trust that you men watching this would have learned enough by now that that person has got to go. Kick them to the curb. They have to be replaced immediately. So let's talk about the conclusion. Basically, their marriage isn't savable. And the reason why their marriage isn't savable is actually only for one reason. And that's because she called the popo on him. If anyone calls a popo on you, especially a girlfriend, especially a wife, they're supposed to be ride or die no matter what you do. You slap her in the face, she's supposed to still be there for you. It's ride or motherfucking die. That's your wife. She forgives you. She's there for you. You guys run together through thick and thin. If she's willing to call the cops on you for anything, you must leave her. She has to go. You have to replace her. Gone. I don't know if she has a sister that's better. I don't know if you got some girl that you're talking to at the office who's better. I don't know if some bitches are in your DMs that's better. But you got to replace her. And it doesn't even have to be with a human. It can be with a doll, a robot, a video game, the gym. Anything is better than that particular type of female. Because that particular type of female is literally worthless. Look up the definition of worthless. That's a strong word to use and mean it literally. But it completely applies here. The other thing to consider is that there is the possibility that it's just a hoax. Maybe he's like, hey, you know what? I am the mastermind after all. I know it would get a lot of attention for us. Ooh, get the donations coming in. Get you trending yet again. get everyone looking at you. What if we fake a fight? A bad fight, you know? What if we can get people, whether they agree with it or not, whether they agree with you or not, just focusing their attention and talking about us? Well, if that's the case, mission accomplished. Could be a hoax. The other thing to mention or to know is that everything you see about Amouranth, whether you love it, whether you hate it, whether you like her ASMRs, where she's licking ears, whether you like her in the hot tubs, whether you like her covering up her nips with foam or whatever, whether you think she belongs at Twitch or should be erased from the internet, everything you see about her is his creation. Nick Lee created Amouranth. She is his creation. That empire is his creation. She's just an actress in the film. And it doesn't matter how you feel about it, those are the facts. So whether you are out there simping or pimping, it doesn't matter. The fact is that he created Amouranth, and that's his streaming empire. Together, they work together, absolutely. But he is undeniably the master man. He groomed her, he taught her how to act, he showed her and educated her on what men want, because females do not know what men want. Behind every great female streamer is an even greater man, showing her what men want, because men are the only one who watches these female, especially hot tub streamers. Even skilled streamers are only watched by men. If there's a girl who's like, diamond in a video game, she's still only being watched by men. It takes a man to elevate a girl to the next level where she can be seen by the world, because females out the box just don't know what men want. And also thinking about some of her past actions and her content, it makes sense that he's running the show behind the scenes and that you guys just didn't know about it. I, on the other hand, knew about it for a long time now. But yeah, some things in particular just make sense. And the last thing to actually really note is that in this whole situation, we haven't heard from him, Nick Lee. The closest information we have is some info from Twitter account, Nick Lee, that has some marriage certificates and a picture of them when they first met years ago, looking really happy and loving with each other at a convention. Back before she had any titties or any ass or any body, really. She's just some chick in an outfit, one of millions. Back before she looked anything close to what she looks like now. He did some transformative work on her for sure. Definitely elevated her to the next level. But we haven't heard anything from him on this. And guess what? We're not going to. You're not going to. The reason you're not going to hear anything from him about this isn't because he feels like he won the argument. Isn't because he feels guilty. It's for no other reason, not right or wrong, but because it's his job and he knows it and he's doing it, is he wants to protect their streaming empire, everything that they built. While she might be out here trying to ruin him and the empire, he's keeping that shit together. And he's making sure that he stays behind the scenes and does what he's been doing in a if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of fashion. Coming out and trash talking her or talking about their relationship isn't going to help. So he's not going to do it. And that's just the facts. So you're not going to be hearing his side of the story about what their day-to-day is like. Even though she might be out there talking trash about him, he's not going to do the same about her because he has to protect the family. And kudos for him for doing that, because if somebody was talking shit about me, I think a response on it, depending on who it was, could be warranted. But he's going to withhold that and keep his composure. In short, this man isn't worried about what you scrubs on the internet are saying, what Kotaku or some Polygon or some other dumbass article might write about it. And And he's not overly concerned about the positive articles or the positive videos that could come out supporting his stance or the things that he said or the way he handled the situation on it either. His number one concern is making sure that their empire stays intact. So, don't expect to be hearing from him because he's not concerned about you scrubs on the internet. This man's out here making millions every month. That pretty much sums up what really is going down with the Amouranth situation and why she takes a huge L in this, why he came out vastly on top of the conversation, and why if you don't understand that, well, it's probably nothing that can help your low intellect. But for those of you who do understand, for those of you who do follow the channel, for those of you looking to improve, to become stronger mentally and physically, then go ahead, share this video. This video is one of the best videos that you could be sharing right now, addressing the Amouranth situation and why and how they responded to each other during that call, the interaction, the true interaction. And I'll be leaving a link to the full video so that you're not just taking her word or even just his word, so that you can see for yourself how it went down. God Connecticut, I'll be making these videos as long as you're watching them. So make sure you're tuning in, clicking the buttons so that you know when it drops. Because we talk about the hot things here and we touch on topics from an angle that few people can or have the cerebral intelligence to even attempt. These are facts, baby. I'll see you in the next video. God Connecticut. Game gods!